Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for this city of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And it's time once again to delve into the horrendous Gacha and to be doing some pulls, this time for Firion's LD weapon. And possibly his burst, I don't know, it depends if the gods of fortune favour us or not. So of course Final Fantasy II is one of those FF games that I've not played, so I have no prior attachment to Firion as a character, especially if you consider that Opera Omnia is actually the first Dissidia game I've even played in the series. So yeah, I have absolutely no prior attachment to Firion whatsoever. Now he has been pretty decent in this game, and I actually think he's been quite slept on, including by me. I did pull his EX, I think it was on Emperor's initial event when I first got it, but I never bothered to build him up that much. Just enough for... I can't remember if there was like a challenge quest with him in it, or if I like stuck him in a DE or something. I don't even think I gave him that much, unfortunately. But yeah, he's always been kind of like... I know when Cloud got his EX weapon, I know Firion was said to be like roughly as good as Cloud, and is kind of like a little bit slept on. I do think that's true. I think Firion's been pretty decent, but that's pretty much all he's been. Like, he's been pretty good, you know. He's been decent. Like when he first got his rework, he was really quite strong, and then he's just kind of languished in the shadows since then. But it's definitely his time to shine now with his LD and his burst weapon. His LD weapon is nutso. Like, I want that thing because I like off-turn damage. I like counters. I like efficiency, you know? Like, he's one of those characters that, like, the more turns you let the enemy take, the better in terms of how efficient you are damage-wise, because he counters after every enemy's turn, because he traps them, and he gives, like, heals and battery to the party. He actually gets an attack aura on his LD now, which I think is something he was sorely missing. Like, he had max brave and initial bravery, but he had no attack aura, so, like, you know... He's kind of a little bit like Noctis in that way. Like, Noctis is an attacker that gives a max brave aura, but no attack aura. And I don't count the minor buff that you get off his LD skill as being an aura. But yeah, basically just Firion just becomes a whole lot better now. Now, his burst weapon is one of the very few burst weapons that I'm actually not interested in whatsoever. Like, if I don't get Firion's burst, I'm probably not going to token it. I'm probably not going to chase it with gems. I'm probably just going to let it, you know, pass me by, because there are a lot of bursts coming up that I'm very interested in, and I would much rather get those instead of Firion's. But if I get it in the free pull, or I get it in the lucky ticket draw or something, then I'm sure as hell not going to be complaining, because a burst is a burst, right? So without further ado, let's jump into these banners and see how we do. Okay, so this is looking very much like traditional free pull material. No loading, blue orb, you know how it is. Let's just get this out of the way so we can start spamming some tickets. Unless you want to prove me wrong. Come on, game, by all means, prove me wrong. Go on, change, yep. And... okay. I mean, at least they're 35s. It's better than 15s. I mean, it's not, because they're both just power stones, but it makes me feel better than a 15, you know? Okay, so no gold here either. No burst lightning, nothing particularly impressive. So this is just going to be standard free pull fare, it looks like. And change. And change. Fucking change! Alright, thank you. Yep. Okay, that's cool. You know, that's nice and everything. Okay, so which banner are we going in on? I am going in on this banner because I don't have Faris's EX weapon. It is one of the few EXs I do not have. So even though I'm not going to be building her up or using her until she gets her LD, I might as well pick up the EX here if I can, like possibly at all. So yeah, I've got plenty of tickets to throw at it. Let's just see how these pulls go, shall we? Okay, so yeah. Firion's one of those strange characters where, like, I'm not super hyped for him, if I'm being perfectly honest, but I know he's really good as well. Like, especially if you, like, I think he pairs incredibly well with Rude, because if you think about it, Rude's ability is, he allows you to convert bravery, he allows you to convert overheals into bravery, right? And, like, Firion's every counter just heals, like, every time. So if you just stick Rude in the party, then, like, after every enemy takes the turn, your bravery is just going to shoot up. You're probably not ever going to take any kind of... You're not going to take HP damage with anything resembling, like, permanence, because you'll be healing constantly. And if you want to throw someone like Gladio in the third spot, like Firion, Rude, and Gladio, that's just a dirty team, you know what I mean? Like, Firion's burst effect is not really all that amazing, in my opinion, because it's more about battery, right? It's like you get Brave Regen, and you get Bravery Refund. Like, you know Guy in the future, right? I think he does something similar. Like, after you do an attack, you get, like, Bravery Gen, like, after your turn, so you don't end your turn on 0 Bravery. I think Firion gives you a refund, Bravery Refund. I think it's either based on damage dealt or it's something else. But it's that kind of thing, and he gives you all a max bravery boost, and you know it's very nice, but it's one of those nice to have bursts. You know, it doesn't have like the stupidly high brave damage steroids that something like Clouds or Lightning's burst does, for example. So yeah, that's kind of, it is what it is. If I get the LD, it's cool. I'll take it. I definitely will not argue, but I'm not going out of my way to chase it. Like a lot of these battery style bursts and just like battery shenanigans in general would be more powerful and more effective if it wasn't for the fact that I believe we're on the cusp of entering an era where brave damage reduction becomes a thing. Because I think when Ramza gets his LD weapon, which is the next one after Firion, his initial bravery, the buff you get to your int brave from his his reeds, like his grass whistle thingy, is freaking huge. And I think it's not too long after that that the Lufenia start nerfing all of your brave gains. Because if you think about it, the amount of battery that we've got on characters right now, I mean, Rude practically maxes out your party's bravery like every time he takes a turn. You've got freaking combination of characters like Aphmau and Wall, and I don't know, Lena, you wouldn't really use Lena and Lufenia, let's be honest, but you know what I mean, right? Those stupidly high brave regen characters where you regen like freaking 50k bravery. So a Mid-Italian. Ami is a good example. Ami and Garnet, for example. You remember that team when we used like Lightning, Ami and Garnet, and you just like max out your entire max brave every turn, every turn you get. I think Lightning is another reason that they decided to implement this brave gain reduction, because if you set up Lightning properly, she'll just like get her max brave back every turn, and she just gets so many turns back to back, it's filthy. So I'm really not surprised that they introduced that mechanic, because it's like, if they didn't do that and you got such high regens, then they would kind of have to make it so that everyone does like multi HP dumps every time they get a turn. So you would kind of effectively make, yeah, what's the point? If you get one turn worth of max bravery, yeah, but if you do 3 HP dumps all at max damage, then yeah, and that's kind of how they're going in JP now, to be honest. Like, the battery is back to being insane. Okay, that's Firion's EX. We didn't really need that, but okay, let's keep going. That's kind of how they are in JP now. A lot of characters do those multi HP dumps, so it doesn't matter too much if you get like really high brave regen, because you still need to do like more damage than your max brave every turn, kind of thing. And they have a lot of like brave refunds between attacks over there as well now that I've seen. I guess they weren't quite ready to go all in on that yet over here, which is understandable. I mean, if you look at how the numbers have inflated over time, like I've looked back at some really old Opera Omni videos dating back to like the 15 and 35 CP era. That shit is cute, man. Like, compared to like what we're doing nowadays, it's positively adorable. You have like max braves are like 5,000, and that's like when bravery attacks were a thing. You'd have like skills that were bravery attacks, and you just do like a regular HP attack on the next turn, and it was like, oh my god. That was even before Terra got her first rework. So, like, you know how she chants and then goes into a skill and casts a spell? Like, the chant was separate. Like, you would waste one turn doing the chant, and then the next turn you would use the skill. It was like, yeah, it was very clunky. I do think kind of the game's lost a little bit of its kind of unique charm along the way somehow, because the bravery system from Dissidia, like, I've never played the Dissidia beat-em-ups, but it was more, you had to determine when to do a brave dump, right, and when to actually like use bravery attacks and when to use HP attacks, and you had to be more strategic in terms of how you actually used your skills. You couldn't just hit the big red button every turn that does stupid amounts of damage, like characters like freaking Varn and Tifa in JP right now. Like, press button, get huge numbers. Like, it wasn't like that. you did have to be a little bit more conscious of what you did. But at the same time, I think the game's a lot more fun to play now because we've got so many unique debuffs and buffs and mechanics and all the rest of it. You know, it's a lot less slow-paced gameplay now than it was back then. So I do think the game's definitely improved in terms of how it's progressed, but the design has also kind of gone down a certain path, if that makes sense. Like, now that we've opened Pandora's box, we've got LDs like Tifa's that can deal up to a freaking million damage in one skill use, right? And once you do that shit, there's no going back from it, unless you do a number squelching to the point that it makes everyone else look pointless. So, it'll be interesting, to me, from a design perspective, to see how they take it forwards from there. Because considering how broken half the shit is that we have access to now, they've still done a fairly good job of keeping everything balanced. Well, balanced with liberal use of inverted commas, you know what I mean? But anyway, this is just me rambling because I don't have too much to talk about. It's early in the morning, I'm pulling tickets, I've got hundreds to get through, God knows how long this is going to go on for. I think I'm due for some, like, some karmic retribution, if you consider how well my pulls have gone the last few banners. Like, I think I did pulls for, I don't know if it was Beatrix, yeah, I think it was like, it was one of the previous LDs, it was like Beatrix and Xande, and I was like, I can't upload this, I'll have assassins coming after me in the night, with how lucky I've been recently. So obviously this time is looking to be a little bit better, worse, you know, like it's certainly having to make more of an effort to pull, so we'll see how long this goes on for. And probably I'm going to skip ahead in the video very shortly, because nobody wants to sit here watching me spam the freaking ticket button for the next, like, 15 minutes. I mean, maybe you do, maybe you're that kind of masochist, I don't know, I don't judge, but if I were you, I would definitely be skipping ahead to the point that something actually happens, because we still don't have the goddamn ticket QOL yet. If we did, I would be spamming those 10 pulls like crazy, but unfortunately we don't, so it is what it is. And that's another EX, that's nice, that's not what I want. Let's keep going. Okay. So, yeah, this is the point in time when I will jump ahead and we'll see if something interesting happens within the next goddamn, who knows, 100 number of tickets, whatever. I can't English. And that's a Golbez EX, came out of nowhere. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you in a few minutes. Oh shit, okay, this is a rather sudden gold. Okay. Okay, another Golbez. Alright. Interesting. Is the sphere even worth it? No, not really. Okay, never mind. Well, it's a power stone. Worst case scenario. It's a power stone and maybe an ingot. And a few nuggets. Like, I don't know about you guys, but are you getting to that point now? I'm getting to that point now with my resources where I've got more books than I have EXs I can use them on. Like, literally, all I can do at the moment is book my dupes. And I think we're entering into that period of time where that becomes a thing that you do. Like, you throw books at dupes just to get ingots. But then it's like, ingots for what weapons? Like, well, actually, that's not true. I do have a lot of EXs that aren't purple yet, so I suppose I should be getting through my backlog. I think over time we're definitely... Ooh, 666. We're definitely going to get to the point where you can afford to use... Oh my god. Golden Shower. Hello? Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to reach the point where you can afford to actually max out weapons for, like, spheres. But it's probably going to take another few months before we really get to that point. But I'm just like, I'm going to have books building up and, like, nothing to use them on. Because if I want to book a dupe, that's still 12 power stones. And I'm not made of power stones. Especially recently, because I've been pretty lucky. My stones have just been, like, into freefall. So... Oh my god! What the fuck? Are you kidding me? I just skip pulled a burst. What the fuck? It took... took me a second to register what bloody happened. I had a heart attack. Okay, shit. Burst before the LD. Interesting. From a ticket, even. Well, that happened. Okay, that definitely happened. Oh my god. From a blue orb as well. That's kind of crazy. You know, that's like, I think that's like 1 in 1,000 chance. It is like a 0.1% chance of pulling a burst from a ticket. So, yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. Definitely do not chase bursts with tickets, because that is the way that you lose literally all of your tickets. But you can look into them, like I seem to have just done, and yeah, at least that'll keep your gems safe. Shit, I mean, I wasn't going to chase for Firion's burst anyway, but I am actually pretty happy to have it, not going to lie. But that's the trap, isn't it? We've got the burst early. Guaranteed it's going to take me another, like, friggin' 500 tickets for the LD. I won't even care, actually. If that happens, if I lose a lot of tickets here, I probably had it coming. The only... Are you fucking serious? Are you for real? Are you seeing this shit right now? I don't understand. What is going on? What the fuck? What is this? What? Oh my god. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, this is one of the strangest pull videos I think I've ever recorded. I'm just going on about... Oh my god, what the hell? Okay, so yeah, there's some definite fuckery going on here. That definitely does not happen that frequently to anyone. I still don't have the LD. Oh my god, I don't get it, man. What the hell? Interesting. Well, that's 5 more tokens, I guess. Maybe I should stop buying the premium passes. Maybe I can, like, farm burst tokens just by pulling tubes. No, that's definitely not a good idea. Okay, well, let's keep going. Okay, well, I have now passed the 600 ticket mark. I have not seen another. That's the first gold weapon I have seen since I pulled that first tube. Yeah, I'm really not sure how to think of these pulls. So in terms of the amount of tickets I have to spend for an LD, it's definitely looking a lot more normal than my previous pulls. So like I'm now hitting the 200 ticket mark, and I ain't seeing an LD yet. So that is more or less what I would expect, because like during the EX era, I would generally... Well, I would pull until I got the weapon, as you know. But in my head, I kind of tried to budget 300 tickets per weapon. And I was like, if I get the weapon, I get the EX, the LD, whatever, before 300 tickets, then I consider that a win. And if it takes more than that, then I consider it like an L, a big fat L that I had to take, you know. But what's not normal is I've got 2 bursts along the way. That's definitely not something I was expecting. I just hope I don't have to pay the price for that luck in terms of like the LD. Because I do want X-Death, and I also want Cecil as well. Like, I want both of the LD weapons on this banner. And then after that, we'll probably be getting the Global First, which is another must pull. And then after that, we'll get Ramza. I think I'm going to go for Caius, but not Guy. I think I'm going to get Ramza and Caius, and that's it. And then we've got Ultimicia's banners, and I want literally fucking every LD on those banners. Like, everything. Okay, what's this going to be? Another EX, so that's my 3rd Firion EX. So I've had 3 EXs, 2 bursts, and not a single LD. Okay, that's interesting. Plenty of golds though. At least I'm getting power stones. Alright. Let's keep going. Yeah, Ultimicia's banners are gonna ruin me. Like, if there's any burst character that's gonna like just drain my resources, it's gonna be Ulti. Because you have Penelo. Well, I've already got Ulti's LD, right? So you've got Penelo, Kryl, Hope, and Jack, and I want all of them. Because, like, Kryle's one of those characters that I was originally going to skip. Like, I couldn't really justify pulling for her because I heard how she does, like, Peanuts damage in Chaos because her attack stat is so low. Even though I thought she was kind of interesting, like, she has a cute design, I enjoy her gameplay with the battery and so on. And we have another gold orb. What's this going to be? An EX. Okay, anyway, moving onwards. Yeah, but so I like her playstyle. Like, she was one of the very first like Chaos level offensive supports that was released like after EX pluses became a thing, and I'd heard that like her damage was really bad because she increases elemental weakness damage, right? So she does what Desh does but better to the party. But because at that point in time we were still in the realm of invisible defense increases, and we needed all the attack auras we could get, because when enemies put up their invisible buffs in Chaos, like the attack versus defense thing is exponential, right? So it would just basically like anything multiplied by 0 is still 0. So her attack was so low that if you didn't have enough auras, you'd just be smacking enemies for really low numbers. So even though you multiplied it by a lot, your base damage was so low that it really didn't help. But her rework, like I was going to skip her EX, and let's find out what this is. Okay, it's Paris EX. Okay, good. So that's something I wanted. I should probably lock it. Never mind. Okay, that is something I wanted. Oh my god, another gold, 2 tickets, another gold orb. Are you serious? Okay, so that's the LD. Okay, we are done. Shit. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you with my Kryle stories and with everyone else, but suffice it to say, I want Kryle because her LD is amazing, her battery is like lasts freaking forever. I want Penelo because, well, I just do. I probably want her the least out of everyone. I want Jack because his call ability is actually busted in terms of how much more damage you deal. And I want Hope because he's the only magic damage in peril in the game. You know, you've got Orin for melee and you've got Hope for magic, right? So yeah, that's it. That is my pulls for Firion. 250 tickets got me the LD and 2 bursts randomly. So, yep, I guess I'm going to get this guy built up, and I will catch you all in the next video, which is probably going to be the mission dungeon ones. So, until then, I hope you guys had some amazing luck, and I will catch you in the next one. Until then, take care and goodbye.